All right, you ready, everyone? Sit down. It's that time of the week. It's you time. It's me time. It's us time. It's time for the Patreon. You've paid your money. Sit back, relax. You're in a bubbly, hot spa bath. You're falling deeper and deeper. Unless you're driving, wake up! How is everyone?
Who else?
Good. Yeah. We got Kevin, Dr. Kevin here.
Yeah. Why don't we introduce him?
What up, Doc?
Dr. Kevin.
That's how you have to go when you become like a TV or a radio doctor, right? Like Dr. Drew or Dr. Oz
exactly.
or Dr. whatever. You're Dr. Kev.
Yeah.
We just did a podcast with
They
Dr. Kevin Peter Hickerson.
So he'll be on next week's episode.
There used to be a fat bloke in Australia called Big Kev. And Big Kev used to be an infomercial guy who used to sell you like cleaning products and stuff like that. Now, I haven't thought of him until I said Dr. Kev.
What was his name? Fat Kevin?
No, Big Kev.
Oh.
Big Kev. Now, don't tell me. I have to guess whether he's dead or not. I haven't lived in Australia for over 20 years, right?
Kevin McQuay.
All right. I reckon Big Kev has to be dead. He was morbidly obese when he was on TV 20 years ago.
Long
Died
dead.
in 2005.
All right. That's the end of Big Kev.
But at 55, so pretty young.
And we had the other guy who did the commercials over here who had a bit of cocaine in his system. He did the overhead luggage and his bag hit him on the head and then he died of a brain hemorrhage later, but they don't know whether it was the cocaine or the bag hitting him on the head.
Combination of both.
Do you remember that guy? That was another infomercial guy?
I don't know that guy.
From Australia?
No, from America.
Oh, yeah, what was his...
Not the ShamWow guy.
No,
He's still going strong.
Was it not the Slap Chop guy?
He did everything.
What was... Oh, Billy Mays? Was it?
Billy Mays, maybe, yeah.
He did OxyClean.
Yeah, he did OxyClean. Was he the guy who had like a little thin black beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OxyClean, yeah.
Died the same
Billy
day as
Mays.
Michael Jackson.
He died the same day as Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett.
Said
It was a
Got no
big day.
press. No press.
Oh, man.
the report said that although Mays died from heart disease, cocaine use was a contributing cause of death.
That's how he could sell so much shit.
He was very high energy, that's for sure.
Not gonna. Artie, come here. Artie.
He's like, this guy hasn't pet me once yet. What
I
the
know,
fuck
but
is the
it's-
deal?
He warned me not to. So.
Yeah.
Friendly.
No, that's
He's
it's
a friendly
smart.
dog. He's a friendly dog.
He's friendly, but sometimes but you're sitting, so you're probably fine. But yeah,
Yeah, that guy, because the day before he got hit in the head by he tweeted out that he got hit in the head by some luggage, and everyone thought it was that. They were blaming Delta because,
Oh, God.
because of bumpy landing or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Do you know that Flexi Seal?
Yeah, you make boats out of it. You can put
Is that the stuff you slap on?
yeah,
Is that what
it's
it is?
just tape. It's just tape.
No. There's a spray.
Yeah, they got spray as well.
That guy moved like 20 million cans in like the first year. Or something
It
like
works.
Wow.
Oh, on the advert, I've never tried it.
that. Doesn't work. I shot a commercial one time, and it was like some bullshit. Like all I knew was me and a guy were sitting on a couch, and we're flipping channels, and then we were supposed to be like, whoa, like looking at boobs all of a sudden. It was like one of those things. But the guy that was shooting the commercial.
What? I didn't follow that at all.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
You're sitting with another guy trying to look for boobs.
Now we're flipping channels, like, oh, there's nothing on, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa, there's chicks on TV. They wouldn't tell us what the. I still to this day don't know what I shot a commercial for, but it was like it was we're looking at boobs. That's what they told us.
Oh, you were in the advert. You weren't watching adverts.
Yeah.
You were in the adverts, and you had to go.
Florida. It was a right to
What?
wait. Yeah,
They're boobs, man.
I forget what it was called. It was like I forget what it was called.
Have you ever bought anything off an infomercial?
But now I'm telling you right
yeah.
now, though, the guy that was recording this that was shooting this commercial, they shot the Flexi Seal commercials, Flex or whatever, and he goes, "It doesn't work." Yeah, I go, "Yeah, of course it doesn't work." He goes, "Yeah, the boat."
But he puts a boat together.
They said they said they shot the boat, and it was not. That's not really. It wasn't really a screen door on the bottom of the boat. Just don't.
In college, I had such bad insomnia, and my friends knew me as the person who would like be watching infomercials at night, and I had to keep changing my debit card because I would memorize my numbers, and I would end up buying shit that I didn't need like in the middle of the night. I'm like, that's a great deal.
Has there ever been an infomercial product that has been good quality? I think as soon as your product goes onto an infomercial, not the shopping network. The shopping network occasionally can do things, sell you a sponge daddy or something like that, like something simple and shitty.
I got the Ab Lounge, and it was really good patio furniture.
The Thigh Master.
The Thigh Master's dog shit. Australia's like infomercial fucking set, like the equivalent of Good Morning America or something like that. We have those shows, and they just intersplice infomercials into it. They
George
cut
Foreman Grill.
George Foreman
Oh,
grill's
yeah,
all right.
that's good.
I'm looking up the best.
I think
product
there's a
all
lot
time.
of good infomercial
Total
stuff.
Gym. Is it
Total Gym
OxyClean?
shit. Bowflex is shit.
OxyClean?
Anything that with a wire or thing. Get actual weights.
Proactive.
Oh yeah, Proactive's good.
Which one's Pro?
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
that
but
one.
that's a cleaning product. Proactive's a thing
No,
that's
it's, no, practice for your face.
That's acne.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's an
I think we were
thing.
sponsored by them at one point.
Oh, they're good.
Moon shoes.
Yeah, I got the ab lounge.
There's
and the
one
red.
that I watch where they put like a gel underneath one eye and then underneath the other eye and the puffiness goes
Oh,
away.
yeah.
And I get so close to buying it all the time. And I'm like, it can't.
Oh, I
it-
have something like that, and it works really well. I'll bring it in
right, we'll do
tomorrow,
different
and you can do
eyes.
a test.
Here's one that did well. The Snuggie.
The Snuggie shit, though, it's not good quality. Like, they all do well. They all do well.
The clapper works.
Who wants a clap?
And so I bought the ab lounge and the red exerciser, and they both ended up being patio furniture. And back in like 2006, I was filmed on an episode of MTV's True Life, and we went out into the patio to talk, and we're just all sitting on like exercise equipment, and we looked like morons.
The ShamWow.
But it was a good show.
It's a chamois, though. It's just chamois have been around forever. What's the difference between that, a ShamWow, and a regular chamois?
This one makes you
I've
so
always
The
said,
guy that's selling them. Do you remember what he looked
I don't
like?
think I've physically washed a car in maybe 25 years, but I used to have
What
to.
about
I used to have to
mentally?
wash my dad's car every weekend. The chamois, a little cloth like this to dry a car, it just feels like getting out of the shower and cleaning yourself off with a tea towel. I like to have like a big. The chamois did. Yeah.
How much of the success was just that it had wow at the end? Like just the name.
Oh yeah, the sham.
mean-
Wow.
Yeah, the sham wow. I mean, that
Yeah,
might
if
have-
it was the
that's-
shampoo, no one's buying a shampoo.
Sham, pretty good.
Here's one that I used this morning. Magic Bullet.
Yep, Magic Bullet's great.
It's a good one. And then the Life Alert.
Life Alert's not an infomercial. That's just an advert. They don't have infomercials for it where they bring
I've
people
fallen.
on.
I couldn't get up.
Yeah, but that's an advert.
Yeah,
that's
I
an
saw
actual
that even as a
advert. It's
kid.
the advert.
I've had that whole long.
That's just the advert.
It was
They
started as
put
an
it on like
infomercial.
you turn that on. You turn on like I like to watch TV Land. I'll get high and watch episodes of Perry Mason and shit, man. I'll sit there watch a couple of episodes of like old sort of sitcoms and stuff like that. Real old ones, 70s sitcoms and stuff like that. All in the Families and all that. I watch all of that shit. And then I watch Perry Mason. But I understand I have old people taste because all the adverts are for falling down, reverse mortgages.
Yeah. There's a store that you can see in the mall sometimes called As Seen on TV.
Yep.
I'm looking at their products now. That's-
John
it's a bunch
Ratzenberg
of crap.
gave me a T-shirt that had that logo that says "As Seen on TV." After we rap legit, he goes, "Yeah, you can wear it out because you're on TV."
That's great.
I still have it in my wardrobe. It's one of those. It's one of those gifts that someone gets you, and it's a little bit too big, and you're like, "You think I'm fatter than I am?"
I actually am thinking that I should get some sort of life alert thing because when you live alone and there's just so many.
Fucking hell, Kelly.
There's so many things I can
You're
like
still
last
in your
week.
30s, Kelly.
I know, but last week I was having
got a lot of stairs.
I have a lot of stairs in my house,
Lot,
and last week I was eating an English muffin and I accidentally inhaled part of it, and I swear I was like so close to it. My life was flashing before my eyes, and I was like, this is how I die, like naked in my bed with a half of an English muffin next to me. My brother's gonna find me, and it's just gonna be the most embarrassing
whole
thing
system,
ever.
right?
I know
Talk
your
about
brother.
this.
He'll probably eat the muffin and then.
He does love peanut butter.
Yeah, no, I bought my mother a Life Alert necklace. I remember that because I'd bought it like there's certain gifts you give your parents towards the end. So I got her a walker, and then I got her the Life Alert necklace. And I started looking at cranes to put her on the toilet. I thought I'm going to get everything. It's going to be kitted out. Get her a bath with a door in it.
I think it's a good idea when you live alone.
Oh, those baths with doors in it, they must devalue your house a little bit. They're not putting
Yeah.
into the house, are they?
Oh,
nobody's like, oh yeah, great.
It's
No,
like
I-
on the side of the tub.
Yeah, you have a door that you go in, and then you got a stair lift. No one's going, oh, this will add to the value.
I want
Put it
one
on the
of those in my
market.
house, though.
It's got TV. This has got that. Well, full Wi-Fi. Getting stair lift, bath with door.
How good would my house be with a stair lift, Forrest?
Terrible.
No, that'd be
Oh,
It's a
awesome.
very narrow staircase.
My
It goes
my house. I think about it because I have 20 steps to get upstairs, and it's a steep staircase, and I go up these stairs every day.
And they have a sharp edge, too.
They have a sharp edge to them, right? They're stiff ass stairs, man.
You don't have a good railing though. You need.
I have a railing on one
You
side.
need to reinforce it though.
No, it's good. It's fine with
No,
me.
for a elevator lift thing.
No, you put it on the other side.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you put it on the other side against the wall.
Yeah.
And so I've already thought to myself, I'll have a stair lift here one day. And my wife, who's 13 years younger than me, will look at me like I'm a piece of shit as I slowly glide up the stairs.
I don't know
think
why
it'd be
you're-
funny just to do it now.
Yeah, I don't know why
Like-
you're waiting. Put it in now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have an argument and you're like,
like-
just in
yeah.
the stair left,
You're
like,
like,
"Ah," you just keep yelling.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't want to
fuck.
talk to you anymore.
Yeah, fuck you. I never should have married you. Do you want to fuck? I'll be upstairs. You want to fuck? I'll be laying in my wife's very funny. My wife's very funny. She the other day she was like, "Hey, you want to have sex?" I was like, "Sure." We go up to the room. And I was feeling a bit stiff for just whatever reason, age or whatever like that. I got up on the bed to have sex, and I literally went like this. And she went, sexy. She goes, imagine if I did that. And then she jumped on the bed and she laid on her back and went, and then split her legs.
Did you feel like you were having sex with Forrest?
And I was like, yeah.
That's like 3 Amazon trucks.
I'll watch my old man noises.
Yeah, I'm definitely at the age where getting up or down from a chair, I'm making some noise.
Oh, you have to.
My couch is really deep.
You have to. Oh, my couch, that
Yeah.
blue one.
Yep.
That's once you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in for the long haul.
You live here now.
I look at furniture like my mum would have never been able to get out of
Yeah.
that. Towards the end, my mum, God bless her, like I've shit on her a lot in my stand up and everything like that, but she had polio as a kid, so that made her movements a lot harder when she got older, and she was morbidly obese and all that type of stuff, and she loved a good complain. So she had all the planets lined up for miserable situations. Anyway, so one time my brother he has a swimming pool. We didn't grow up with a swimming pool. We didn't have air conditioning or fucking nothing. My parents got air conditioning the year I left home.
Yep.
Like, what were you holding out for? Like, you were going to get it anyway. Like, if they still never had it, I'd go, we never had it. But then they got it once I left. Why? Anyway, so, it's fucking hot, Australia.
The bill.
Anyway, so my brother had a house in wherever, I think he was living in Sydney at the time, and he had a pool. And my mother said, "Oh, she's coming over, and she wanted to swim in the pool." I mean, she asked my brother can you put a railing in there? You know, you have, up the stairs, you have a railing in the middle. And my brother's like, I don't know what it takes to put a railing in a pool, but it's a job.
Yeah.
You got to empty the fucking pool.
It's not cheap.
Yeah,
You'd have to resurface part of the pool.
Yeah, it's not like putting a railing just on your bathtub
Right.
to get into a handle.
Yeah.
This is it's a big deal. You got to
Yeah.
drain the cunt, and then you got to put it back in, and then you got to rid of all the concrete and let it set. It's a kind of a job, right? Anyway, so my brother was like, "Oh, I'm not going to put a fucking railing in the pool like this, right?" Anyway, my mum got in the pool and then couldn't get back out. She was just in the pool, just with her head sticking out of the water, just looking at us. I can't get up the stairs without a railing. It's too much. Oh, well, I guess you're stuck in the pool for the rest of your life. I guess there's no other option. You're now a pool woman.
How'd you get her out?
We tried lifting her and all that type of stuff. That didn't work. What happened in the end? She just needed a bit of buoyance. So we got 2 pool noodles under each armpit. And then we sort of carried her like a Roman god that's being walked through the streets in a chair up through the pool. And then that was it. That was the last time she ever went in the pool. No more pools.
Is there a can of Red Bull in your pocket?
No, it's some hair powder.
Oh, okay.
You know all about that.
Yeah.
I've put flakes in my hair. Watch my special. You'll see what happens.
So you guys mentioned chair lifts. All the big rage now is these little mini elevators you can put in houses. My mom wanted to put one in.
Wait, a mini elevator?
Yeah, they're like little tiny, like a one person. You close the
No,
door.
not
I looked at some properties lately in Australia because I was thinking of having a home in Australia as well. And, it was a bit of a pipe dream, but I just went and looked at a few properties. And there was one that I saw that had a lift in it, and I was like, fucking, this is the place. It's got an elevator.
But those tiny ones that are for one person, like my claustrophobia would just. I've been stuck in an elevator before with 9 people for an hour and a half, and 6 of the people were on LSD. Like it was New Year's Eve. Me and my 2 friends got onto the elevator with this group of 6 people, and they have these Visine bottles, and they're like pouring it into their mouth, and I was like, why the fuck are they drinking Visine? And they're like, you guys want some? I'm like, no. They're like, it's LSD. elevator stops, and I'm like, fuck. Hour and a half. It was psychotic.
That's a movie you could play
You
in
should have
real
taken
time.
it,
Yeah.
Kelly.
Sounds like a movie.
It was. I was like sweating. I was just like, when can we get out of here? And they kept ringing the alarm. They're like, can you guys come get us? I'm like, fuck. It was the worst.
These elevators look like the thing when you're at a bank. Remember? And I don't even
Like
know if
the
they have
little
any.
tube that-
Those tubes you put the money in and you shoot them like that. That's what these elevators
Yeah,
look
and
like.
a lot of times, even to deal with claustrophobia, they're like glass and everything. You just think you're in a.
Yeah,
like a
no,
little-
I need to be able to like fully lie down.
No, this
to
one
not feel crazy.
could have fit 4 people in there.
Okay.
and
That's pretty
and
good,
I was looking at it, and my wife was like, "Really, we're going to be elevator people? How old are we?" And I was like,
Wait, well, since when is elevator people a bad thing?
Elevator
yeah, no,
means
because
money.
like we can use stairs. We're not fucking. It's only a.
You don't have to use the
It was
elevator.
only a
You can just
2-story.
have
It was just
one.
a 2-story house. And I went luggage. That's how I won her over.
Oh yeah.
Because you always keep your
Luggage.
luggage up in your room
Yep.
and you pack in your bedroom, and getting it down the stairs is a kind of a thing. It's
Yeah.
bulky, it's 30
I just
kilos.
keep my luggage on the bottom
Yeah,
floor
and
now.
nothing says you made it. Like you have an elevator in your house, but you still use the
Right,
stairs
'cause
because
you're
it's
fit.
healthy.
And then
Yeah.
she's like, but what happens if I'm in it and you're away and then the elevator breaks? And I'm like, fun story, I'll be back.
Yeah, we installed an elevator. Like it wasn't an elevator, but it was outside of my mom's house. But when she had to be in a wheelchair, and because she had like stairs and a deck. It's like you don't think about those things when you get older, but it was a lift you would use for boats, but we modified it and made it smaller and put a platform on it and a gate and stuff. Fucking, it's annoying.
My mother also
Pretty cool,
got
though.
caught in a boat.
Yeah, it was cool.
She got caught in a boat.
Caught in a boat.
How? What?
Stay with one.
Fuck, this was an ordeal. I feel bad, but it was something else. So our next door neighbour, Steve, he's a boat maker, right? Growing up, he worked on boats. And
What
so
kind of boats?
Well, he was just a workman on bigger boats for companies and stuff like that. But he bought himself an old prawn trawler, like an old Forrest Gympie type of boat, and then he redid it and put his own living room downstairs and that type of stuff. A little trawler to go around Sydney Harbour, and you could sleep on the boat. And so I was out there. I was living in Britain at the time, and I brought a girl that I was dating and out to Australia. And Steve looks over the fence and he goes, "Jim, I got a new boat. You want to come on the boat?" Like this, right? And I was like, yeah, fucking, like, the girlfriend's never been around Sydney Harbour. That'll be fun, right? I didn't care to see Sydney Harbour. I've been there 1,000 times, right? And then my mum, who was doing something in the yard or something, and she just goes, "I'd like to go on a boat," right? So all of a sudden, the whole family was invited on this boat, right? So we all got to the fucking boat, and first of all, because it was a fishing thing. You didn't just walk straight on it. You sort of got over the barrier that was on the outside. You just put your bum on, and you flipped yourself over. So getting her onto the boat was already a fucking getting her ass up there. We lifted legs, and a lot of it's got to do with the polio, right? Yeah, so. But anyway, we go around the harbour, lovely time. We go down to the fish markets, get some, some fresh seafood, have lunch, and go around Sydney Harbour. And then I just hear in the hull. So to get down to the hull, there was 3 stairs on a ladder to get down to the bottom bit. Right?
Oh, like a straight ladder.
Yeah, like a slanted one. But it was a pretty straight up and down type of thing, right?
Probably low ceiling.
Yeah, and so I just hear this whimpering downstairs, and I put my head down and I'm like, "Mum?" And she goes, "I'm stuck. I can't get back up. I can't climb this ladder. I'm stuck." And I go, "Well, I guess you're living in this boat now."
Was this before or after the pool
Yeah,
situation?
this is after the pool.
I fucking hate my child.
We'd already learned about the pool. And so I'm like, "Oh, well, this is your world now. You live in this bit and we'll throw food down to you and you'll live in a boat. If you can't get out of the boat, this is your home, right?" And she's like, "I need to get out of the boat." And I said, "All right." So I came down. She goes, there was other people there, so she's embarrassed. And I said, all right, Mum, I'll get you out. And so I got behind her and I put like one leg up onto the step. And I said, "You got that?" And I said, "Put another leg up onto the step." And she got it. So there's just 2 steps ahead of her now. And she was holding onto the railings, holding onto this thing. And so I said to my girlfriend, I said, "Go get Dad," right? And my girlfriend goes off. My dad's staring at the front of the boat like this. And I go tell her that Mum's stuck in the bottom of the boat and he needs the help, right? And then my girlfriend comes back like a minute and a half and just goes like this. "Yeah, your dad says that she'll find a way out."
If she wants to come out bad enough.
And I'm like, fuck me. All right.
He's got to do it with most confidence in it.
Yeah. So this is a terrible story. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but anyway. So I got behind her and I said, Mum, you're not going to like this. And I got my shoulder underneath her ass and I really just was squeezing her up into the hole. And I got her a little bit more forward. So now she's leaning forward. So her boobs are out on the floor and she's facing out the side of the boat. She's holding onto the rail and the handles. And then I took a run up. There was about 8 feet in that boat where I could run up. And I got backwards and I shoulder charged my mum up into the hole. So now she's stuck up into the hole. I look like it's the moment of my birth. and all the light's gone now, right? I'm just in darkness with these two, and the sound's muffled outside.
Is your girlfriend helping you at all?
She's crying and screaming.
She's on the outside, right?
Yeah, she's trying to hold her hands and she's pulling to get her out.
She's crying?
Well, she's like panicking. She doesn't.
Is your mom crying?
My mum's upset. Fucking, I've thrown me shoulder out. My girlfriend's trying to fucking. It's probably why I got a rough
I wasn't
shoulder.
sensing the panic in the story.
Oh,
so
yeah,
there's
and my dad's out staring at the boat. So my girlfriend, very small, petite girl, she's trying to pull my mother out the hole. And Steve, who has been drinking, he no longer drinks, but Steve, who's been drinking, he walks around to the front of the boat and into the front of the hole, and he says the lines, it's like Winnie the Pooh when he gets stuck in the tree and Piglet tries to get him out.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, that's about right. When you look at the girl next to my mum, next to the tree with a hole, I go, good analogy.
Not helpful.
Bad time.
Not needed. So eventually my dad gets there and Steve gets there and they pull her out of the hole. She's very upset, embarrassed. And she pulls and she's boom. And she's laying on her face. And she's just there. And I get out of the boat and I said, you're all right. I felt really bad for her. I said, you're all right, Mum? And she goes, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And I said, oh, well, you're out of the boat now. You live amongst the rest of us. You're an outside person now. And but then she had problems rolling over, so I did have to get an oar to move her like a spatula.
Oh, God.
I both find that story humorous and it saddens me.
Rest in peace.
To the end of her life. She always she couldn't go anywhere without causing a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
She loved, like, I know she didn't ask for that, but she loved being drama around her. So there's one time at my cousin's wedding, they had a wedding on a beach. My mum's not a sand walker. Who thought she could walk on sand?
God.
Sandwalker sounds racist.
I was going to say that sounds like a slur.
Luke Sandwalker, you know where he's from. Anyway, so she's not a sandwalker.
Sounds like it would get you canceled.
Yeah. And so there was stairs. You know when you go down to a beach and there's someone's...
Ernie, stop. Yeah, come here.
He's so obsessed with them.
And so you go down to a beach and they put some rickety old fucking like salt weathered wooden stairs down to a beach. We've all been on them. There might be a hand. Anyway, so me and my brothers, very rarely we're all in the same room together, and Dad. And I remember this to the day I die. We've all gotten down onto the beach and we're walking along to where the wedding is, and the four of us are all chatting. And then we turn around, we hear the commotion. She's rolling down the stairs like the ball in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And she rolled down. And the four of us just went, and we had to go get her. And she's like, that railing's no good. Everything was, the railing was no good or
Not
something.
a sand walker, but a sand roller.
Yeah, she shouldn't have gone in. Anyway, that's why towards the end she just sat in a chair and watched telly.
There was a game called Sandwalkers.
What do you do?
I don't know. I'm trying to look at it. Sandwalkers on Steam.
Do I seem like a bastard telling these stories?
No.
I feel like
No.
I'm a bit of a bastard telling these stories. But that's what was happening. That was me childhood.
It's real life.
That was me real childhood.
How old were you in these stories?
36.
Oh, no, about 31 in the boat, 26 in the pool. I was maybe 18 in the stairs. Yeah, no, this was going on for a long time.
Yeah.
My mother told me every Christmas from the time I was 10. When I was 10, imagine being a 10-year-old child and your mother, who was only 45, who was my fucking age, was telling me that this would be the last Christmas they spent together. There was a good chance she wouldn't make it to the next one. She was always dying. For 30 years, for 35 years, the woman was dying. It was the end.
I remember we were in a hotel in Washington, D.C., and you thought you were going to have to fly back to...
I flew back twice to Australia to meet a dead person. One time, this is before you could use phones on planes and no internet. I flew all the way back from England crying my heart out because I was racing home to meet my mother, to get there before my mother died. She was going to die. And I got there and she was sitting upright playing solitaire on an iPad. And I rushed into the hospital and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it's one of those things that it's like, of course I'm happy you're not dead. But I didn't have the money to do that.
Right.
That was like, so I flew back. And so when she actually did die, there was a moment where I said to my brothers, are you sure? And I was like,
when you had to fly back.
yeah, I was like, I want to speak to a doctor. Because I spoke to a doctor that time. He said, oh, she probably won't last or whatever like that. And I'm like, fucking bullshit, man. She was fine. But when she did actually die, yeah, I got back and, yeah, it was very sad. Yeah, it was very sad when my mother died. Yeah. As it would be.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you.
It would be.
Our moms died not too far apart from each other.
Yeah, about 6 months apart, wasn't it?
My mom was August, yours was May, not even.
Yeah.
It
was pretty close.
But they were in the hospital at the same time. I remember my mom had the surgery on her leg, and then
I remember when my mother passed away. She passed away because she broke a leg sitting on the toilet whilst the ambulance drivers were sitting in front of her. Like, you could do like a reverse Forrest Gump movie on my mum, where just random bad shit happened to her throughout her life, like constantly.
Yeah.
So
I lost my mom last year too. Actually, Forrest and I's mom died of the same thing.
Yeah. Multiple myeloma. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I did a couple of charity gigs for that cancer because Forrest and of course
I remember. I think I saw you on one of them.
I really liked Forrest's mum as well. And no problem doing it. Ray Romano used to get involved with them and all this sort of stuff. But one time I showed up and I was fucking hungover to all balls and I was like, all I've got to do is a charity gig tomorrow. No problem.
Well, you did a couple. So just to be clear, you did a couple at the Improv that me and Andy Ostroff, that his father had passed away from, and so we had put some smaller ones together. But the ones you're talking about was for the International Myeloma Foundation.
Yeah, Ray
Romano would host.
I'd already
Peter
done
Boyle from Everyone Loves Raymond, the father, he died of it too. So his wife Lorraine Boyle helped with the IMF put on these organizations. They still do something or try to do something every year. So this was a big event.
Yeah, but
you didn't realize
I thought it was the same as when I did these gigs for the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And so I showed up, and there was a lot of big name comics on the bill. And
there was a red carpet. There was like
and I had to go on the red carpet. I looked like a bag of shit. I was wearing like a t-shirt. My hair was all matted down.
Yeah, Fluffy was on that show.
Yeah, and I was hungover, and I was like, what does this charity mean to you? Stop cancer, man. I was limping down that fucking red carpet.
It was at the Wilshire Ebel Theater, which is like a pretty nice old theater. It has a really neat courtyard and stuff. So there was like a dinner and an auction and it was fluffy.
I had cancer patients who were worried about my health. I did. Like, your mum was like, you okay, Jim? And I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah, that was my mom's last trip, actually. That was my mom's last trip. So my mom still thinks I'm working on your show. So that's how I did my head, which was a good thing, though.
Yeah, but
she doesn't know it's canceled.
Yes.
Because that was my mom's last trip. She came.
My mother still thinks I have a TV show.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. My mom came here, went to the taping. She was at the taping where you were dressed like an astronaut or in space.
Yeah, I was an astronaut.
And you were on wires.
Yeah, I had boobs. I had fake tits.
And you were flying around on wires. Man, you had on wires or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she said she was really happy because she said I was happy because she went on the set and she saw how happy I was working on the show, whatever, and she met everybody and everybody, she liked the people that she met, whatever, and she
didn't meet everyone, evidently.
Yeah. and then we did a bunch of stuff here, and then we did that event too. and she was pretty beat up. She was getting. It was a little less than a year before she passed away. And then we went to my aunt's wedding in Texas, and then she went home, and that was the last trip she ever did. But in her head, she still thought the show was going on. So that's how it was like a nice thing. I was like, well, in her head, the Jim Jeffries show lives on, episode 5,000.
I wish it was. That was such a fun show to work on.
When do you think that you'd ever see, John Oliver flying in a space outfit with tits? Do you?
Yeah.
We put a bit of effort into it. It wasn't just a desk thing. We put some effort into it. Maybe our research wasn't as good as his or whatever, but we had fucking gags aplenty.
Yeah. No, I always say I was so lucky because that was my first job after changing careers, and it was a major career change. And I've heard so many horror stories from like other TV shows that people have worked on, and I felt so lucky that I had so much fun working there, because if I had worked on one of those shitty shows, I probably would have turned right back around and gone back to my old career. But like, I had a fucking great time. That was a really good few years.
There were some hard times for me in that show, and some political problems and all this type of stuff, and. But for all in all, it was a fun show to make. And I really do miss taping days. Those Tuesdays, I'd get up early, I'd get a suit on, I'd fucking...
Craft services was the best.
I'd eat a breakfast.
Shout out to Danny.
I'd sit there in makeup, and I would rehearse the thing on a teleprompter while I was in makeup. I'd go out there and do it, because the day before I could hardly read it. I needed a day for it to settle into my head. And then I used to do that warm-up, and it was just the most fun you could do doing stand-up, because everyone was so excited to be there. You're doing stand-up at like 10 in the morning to people, and they were all very excited, And then at the end of the day, as soon as we finished, I'd get hammered drunk.
We do the podcast.
And we'd do a podcast.
That was so much fun.
And then drunk eating these fucking cookies that I'd get a box of cookies every day. I would sit there and tell everyone what to work on the next week.
We usually get In-N-Out or Top Round or some greasy thing.
Yeah, I'd always be drinking wine out of a coffee mug during the podcast.
I'd eat clean before the show for a few days to keep me weight down, and then I would fucking gorge.
I know, day of show. So Danny, the craft services, she was a wizard.
Yeah, she's
Dan
awesome.
Backadall would come to the tapings just for her.
Yeah.
That's how good craft. And
Dan Backadall would just come for a meal.
Awesome.
He's been on every set you could imagine, movies, TV, whatever, and he would come just for. So the breakfast, she would have the amazing spread for breakfast. Then she would switch over to lunch. You wouldn't even have to eat our lunch, but I'd go and eat a lunch. Then I'd eat whatever she had during the taping. Then I'd eat whatever.
There'd always be
I would
different.
get so fat the day whatever we had for the podcast.
She'd be making pancakes, and one day there'd be blueberry, then there'd be chocolate chip, and then there'd be something else.
Yeah. That was just breakfast.
And then they'd have fucking walnuts in them and shit.
He's like, here's Frosted Flakes French toast. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it was the best. She was so good that when I had the NBC show Jeffries, which was 6 days out from filming for NBC and all that sort of stuff until the pandemic break, I had 2 requests on staff for the pilot, and that was that Jack was my writer's assistant, and that she did craft services.
Oh, really?
And she,
I'm gonna tell her that because I'm still friends with her.
Oh, I think she had the booking. I think there was people who already rang up.
Yeah,
and,
she's so fucking awesome.
It's funny because Phil Rosenthal, he says that in his book, I think. What's the name of his book?
Oh shit, I have it on the shelf over there.
So you think you're
Catchy
funny
name?
or something? Yeah, from,
yeah, I know.
Everyone loves Raymond. It's like whatever it's called. But I think he mentions like you gotta have good craft service.
Yeah.
You're lucky you're funny.
You're lucky you're funny. It's like one of the, and now he has a food show on Netflix, like where
me and Dan Backadall, there's a bit in like season 2 where we both get a little bit fat, and Dan decided at the beginning of the season, before the scripts were written, he's like, oh yeah, my character's gonna get, because we said he was gonna be an alcoholic, right, in the second season. We were all the characters were always drinking in the first season. And then there was an episode at the end of the first season where Kate's character, Wendy, gets pregnant and we have a baby shower, and Dan wasn't very active in the scene, right, in the episode. And so I was like I was just talking to him on set, like, well, what can we have you do? And he goes, I could be wasted drunk and just causing a bit of a dick of myself around the party. And I was like, brilliant. You know what I mean? Let's do that. And he was so good at playing drunk that the next season all was wrapped around him saying that. It was like, all right, so Dan's going to become a full-blown alcoholic. Steve's going to become a full-blown alcoholic. His character's going to spiral. And all that. So he read maybe the first 2 scripts, and Dan decided he came onto set, he'd grown a comb over, without being asked.
Leaned in.
And then he's like, I'm just going to get fat. And the whole season, he's either in his underwear or sweatpants and a white T-shirt. He never changed, never dressed as nice or anything like that. And so Dan was like, we were at craft services with the donuts, like just like getting into character. I went over to his house to play pinball the other day, and he goes, remember when we had that donut eating competition? I'm like, I remember you having... I don't remember me partaking as much. I might have had one with you.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story about what's his name? Rodney.
Yeah, Nick Daly.
Yeah, with the donuts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nick Daly. His father's.
He played Rodney. Yeah, he played Rodney. Nick played Rodney.
Nick had a condition, Peter Willie syndrome. The most charming young man, at least similar age to me, you'll ever meet. I have a lot of love for Nick. And but Nick, he had a childlike mind to him, and also the condition has something where they sort of eat themselves, the Peter Willie syndrome, where they sort of eat themselves to death because nerve systems don't tell the brain when they're full. Or I might be getting that slightly wrong, but there's a lot of problems with them and food, right? And so Nick was there, and he's like, I can't eat today because it's Ramadan. Right? It wasn't Ramadan. I think his mum just told him it was Ramadan so he wouldn't eat too much food on set. And I was just like this, Ramadan, you say?
By the way, you're right. It says Prader Willie syndrome. They eat constantly because they never feel full.
Yeah, they never feel full.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I assume it's nerves or whatever, but I don't know. They never feel full.
Yeah.
What a shitty condition to be in, never feeling full.
Yeah. But then there was a donut. I'm sorry. Go.
Like fish have that. All fish.
The band?
Yeah. No.
Fish never feel full.
Well, except with them, it's acid. But I mean, with fish, you feed them and they.
You know how there's that.
If you overfeed fish, they die because they just keep eating. You have to be careful.
That makes sense.
About it. There's that thing they always say about, like, and I don't know how anyone knows this, that goldfish have a memory of a second, right? That's this common thing. I trained a goldfish.
Yeah, it's not true.
It's wrong.
I trained one.
And my friend Emma, who trains animals, you had her on for the field piece on the show. She trained a goldfish to dunk a basketball, like a little basketball and a little hoop in a thing.
I don't know who came up with that, but people say there's a lot of stand-up comics that sort of do the, look, a shark.
Ted Lasso says it too.
Yeah, they say it in a lot of different things.
Ted.
But I had this goldfish, and I would go tap, 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 and then I'd feed it every day. Tap, 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 and then I'd feed it. Tap, 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 and then I'd feed it. And eventually, if I went tap, 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 you'd swim to the top.
Yeah. Anyways, you're the one that told me the donut story with Nick, where he was like hiding and eating.
Oh yeah, I can't remember that one.
It was something like where you guys had to monitor because he has this syndrome. Someone was monitoring what he ate because he would just eat from the craft service all the time, and you caught him behind I
caught him behind a trailer eating a donut.
Yeah.
How you doing, Nick? He goes, I'm just having one.
Yes, this is my first one, or something.
My first one.
But he was eating it behind a trailer.
And I was like this. He was secret eating a donut, and he's like, I'm totally having one, Jim. And I went, I'm not a fucking cop, Nick. Yeah. I'm not going to tell on you, man. You're all right.
The other favorite thing with Nick too was when you did the Nokia theater.
Yeah.
And you had him come out on the stage and wave.
Yeah.
And the crowd went like, they're happy.
Yeah.
And then he went backstage. And then I guess whoever was supposed to be watching him wasn't, so he came back out on stage like, he just kept coming out.
Yeah, he
it was fun.
Yeah, was he at the show? He was at the show. Oh no, Martin. Yeah, I introduced him to Brad Pitt. Nick, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you.
And Brad would know him because he was a fan of the show.
Yeah. Brad knew him. Yeah. Brad knew who he was.
A fan of legit. So.
And then we had Martin Leachy's there, the strongest man in the world, and Nick had a great day.
Yeah.
Nick comes to my stand-up gigs, but I don't think he gets to the stand-up, or I don't know if he enjoys it. But one time, like, I was driving him to fucking Dan's house because Dan had a new pinball machine. Dan was living way out near Six Flags, and so I picked up Nick, and I got there, and Nick. I must have bored the shit out of him because I hadn't seen him for about 6 months. I said, how you going, Nick? He goes, I'm good. And I go, how's your mum doing? She's good. How's your sister doing? She's good. And I said, we're looking forward to the new pinball machine. That'll be fun. And he just looked at me and went, I'm going to go to sleep now. Fuck, I'm boring.
All right, Jack. What do you got for us?
Let's see if I can airplay it to the TV real quick.
All right. There's Jack's face.
Did it make it?
Well, I can see your face a little bit.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
we go.
good.
There's
All
your
right,
face.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so my friend Nolan.
This is better than looking at you directly.
I know. There's like some filter on here that makes you look all right.
It's a good angle. You look nice.
Wow, thanks.
It's like you're sitting in the dark over there on the screen. You're all lit up.
I know, it's good. So my buddy Nolan told me about this thing called the Australian suicide plant the other day, which I'd never heard of. But apparently it's this leaf that's covered in these poisonous needles that if you touch it, it makes people go insane. One guy wiped his ass with it, not knowing it was a bad leaf, and he shot himself in the head.
No, it's got needles. Why would he wipe his ass with it?
Well, you don't know because they're like microscopic.
Okay, they're very small.
But
yes.
get a palm leaf or something.
But like you don't know, so like it's just that leaf.
I know that leaf. I know that leaf all day. Yeah, I've seen them.
But there are other plants that have similar leaves.
It's like being burned by hot acid and electrocuted at the same time.
There is no shortage of horror stories about the Gympie. It's called the Gympie?
It's called the Gympie.
Yeah, the Gympie.
Why do you guys know
One
everything like that? Everyone's gotta have a Y.
Australia is so unserious.
Okay, I'll tell
This
you.
is the worst thing ever. Gympie.
I'll tell you why you're racist. It's the Aboriginals didn't, and I might get this slightly wrong as well, but the Aboriginals didn't really work in numbers. So if there was two of something and multiple leaves on a plant, they would say it twice, so you knew there was a plural.
Yeah.
So it's the Gympie leaf, but the Gympie means that they're in packs. It's
the
like
bush.
if you go to the town Wagga Wagga.
Well, I'm reading right above here. So there's a fine fuzz. So in the summertime, they shed, it says, too. So you can get stung.
I can't believe you hate Aboriginals so much, Forrest.
So you can get stung just standing near them, it says. Because I guess if
Yeah.
it sheds, could you inhale it, too? That would
But
be fun.
I found a video of a guy doing it,
Yeah.
and they say the stings can last for like 2 years.
Why would he be doing this on purpose?
Yeah, you got to get hits, man.
Man, true. Yeah.
Where's this sound?
So he's got, is this his ankle or his wrist?
His wrist.
I think it's going through the TV real quick. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, gotta do it. Ah, okay, that stings. Ooh, that stings. That's not so bad. Ah! Guys, this actually really hurts. It feels like fire ants gnawing on my arm right now. Can you see all these bumps? I've got a bunch of little bumps on my arm from where it stung me.
Well, this guy
and it just hurts. It just hurts like there's something just chewing on my arm
You're
right
a
now.
Gympie, mate.
Yeah, this
Oh,
guy's not
man,
even
this is a
Australian.
bad idea.
First of all, so he just,
So
I know
plants
this guy,
evolved
though.
chemicals
I mean, I
like
don't
this
know
to
if it's
deter
fun.
predators from eating them. And the
Wait,
chemical in this
hold on a
plant
sec.
is called...
Hold on a second. You know this guy?
No, I don't know him personally. I know this YouTube.
Oh, you know the channel.
Yeah, because
okay.
he does a lot of science experiments.
So he
With
had
his
this.
body.
He had this plant shipped from
He's going to become a superhero, this cunt.
He had the plant shipped from Australia to wherever he is. Yeah.
How do they put it in a box? Rubber gloves, I guess.
Yeah, you know.
Solve that
Don't
problem.
touch it.
You can't just talk science on a YouTube channel.
Long
You gotta
sleeves.
put yourself out there. You gotta
do
put
the
yourself in
experiments.
danger.
That's why you have a sidekick.
Yeah.
He touches all the stuff. You're like, yeah.
All right, the Gympie plant was a winner, Jack. Well found.
And apparently the toxin and it can last for 20 years.
Jesus.
Why would he do that?
20 what?
20 years, but usually it can last 2 years, but it can last for days, weeks. This guy right here, this guy named, not the guy in the video, botanist Ernie Ryder was whacked in the face, arm and chest in 1963. It wasn't until 1965 when he was finally free of pain.
I've never heard of this plant, so there you go. As mad as a cut snake, that would have been a good thing to put on.
That's pretty bad.
You can't. It says you can't take them out with tweezers. The best thing is use hot wax.
Yeah, YouTube subscribers aren't worth that.
No.
That's too
Yeah.
much.
Where is the plant located?
Australia.
No, okay. What part of Australia?
From the ground.
So I know where to
I don't
fucking
know.
avoid it.
Just don't go in the jungle. Are there jungles?
Yeah, up
Yeah.
in Queensland.
Well, there's
I don't know
there's rainforests.
Rainforests?
Queensland.
Where are they in the country?
We have the oldest rainforest
like
in the world.
like the
Really?
northeast. The northeast.
Didn't know any of
areas.
that.
The Daintree rainforest is the oldest rainforest on Earth.
That's in Queensland.
It's in Queensland. It's
Yeah, the northeast area, Jack, is where you want to.
it's lovely. I've been up to the Daintree. It's worth a visit. It's something else.
So this
I went with a girl to the Daintree, and then I stayed in a hotel, and she always found it very funny that I went, there's no TV? She thought, well, you're in this beautiful setting. Yeah, but you still want to
Can't see it at night.
You still want to lay in bed and watch the telly, right? Like this hotel was very expensive. No telly. Oh, fucking! You're really banking on a view, aren't you?
I also, because they always say like everything in Australia is trying to kill you. That's like the common thing. So I found kind of a cheeky list of things that'll kill you in Australia.
Cheeky.
A little cheeky.
Ah, they put Rusty on there. Rusty won't kill you. He's a nice fella.
It's on there. First one's spiders.
Yeah, Russell Crowe, man. I'm telling you, good guy. Fucking solid human being, man.
Let's see. The Heat.
The Heat.
Waves.
Yeah, they'll kill
There's
you.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He said lurking around the streets of
Woolloomooloo.
Woolloomooloo.
Woolloomooloo is actually one of the most prestigious places. The Prime Minister lives in Woolloomooloo. It's like it's a bit in the centre of Sydney. It's a cracker.
It says
beautiful.
Russell Crowe, a wandering mammal who can typically be found smoking more than 60 cigarettes.
No, he doesn't smoke 60 a day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
50.
He won't kill you.
Maybe 20. No, he won't kill you,
He hasn't
man.
killed anybody.
Cheeky.
He'll give you a hell of a hug, man. You'll feel
Cone
it.
snail.
Snails.
Those look bad.
Yeah, they're no good. They're no good. There'll be
And a harpoon.
there'll be blue bottle jellyfish,
They say rugby players.
box jellyfish, rugby players.
Typically
Well,
found
see,
in packs.
there's problems now. There's problems now in the rugby league with Manly, one of the teams. They've sort of the whole team's disbanded because they made one mistake. Did I talk about the Pride jerseys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Pride jerseys, now the whole team's disbanded. They got rid of the manager and all that sort of stuff. The whole
Wait, I don't know how I've missed the Pride jersey thing.
What happened was, so you know how in the baseball and stuff over here during Pride Week they might put a little bit of rainbow over the Dodgers wording, or,
Sure.
you know, they'll do a promotion. So during Pride Week in Sydney, which is arguably the gayest city on earth, that and San Francisco, are like, you know, very gay friendly cities with big neighborhoods of gay people, and Manly, which is a more upmarket suburb of Sydney, the rugby league team, and the Manly Sea Eagles, before they went out in the pitch, they said, oh, by the way, you're all wearing these Pride jerseys. Now, a lot of the players are from the Pacific Islands, and
Didn't Hugh Jackman wear one?
yeah,
Like,
Hugh
but-
Jackman wore one in support on the cover of the newspaper. And a lot of them come from places where they're very religious, and their religious beliefs was not in line with that of the Pride jersey. So about more than half the team, I believe, did not take the pitch, and they had to put out some blokes from reserves, and they just got thumped. You know what I mean? Because the players were, and then when the players came back, they didn't seem to be playing with much heart for the team or anything like that. Now the whole team's disbanded. They've fired the manager and all that type of stuff. The whole team's a dumpster fire right now. And it's all because someone was just trying to do something a bit nice.
Well, they say typically found in packs, rugby players greet one another with a lofty punch to the face or stern shove to the shoulder. Their primary habitat is the field or pitch, but they often migrate to pubs when looking to quench a thirst or set fire to a dwarf.
Let's click on that.
What's
link.
happening there?
Okay, there's been some incidences.
What happened
I
here?
thought that was just a
Okay,
joke. I didn't realize it was hyperlinked.
I don't know if this was. There's been a few where they have their Christmas parties and they've hired dwarfs for entertainment to throw them and whatnot. And then one of them they set a light to, and there's some amazing quotes. Now this is the rugby union players.
Dwarf tossing leaves little person paralyzed. That's not good.
No, it's not good.
Wait.
Those are
Right,
English
no,
references.
I think it was Australian rules. Australian rules.
Right there.
Australian rules.
It wasn't the rugby
Right there.
league.
Right there, Jack.
I'm
Australian
trying
rules,
to.
Oh, I can't hear. Everyone's
It's right there.
All right, but I'll
Read
say.
it.
I'll say. Okay, so
I like how you're pointing at the screen
So,
as if he can see the screen.
Australian rules is different from rugby. This is a different thing. This is St Kilda, a Melbourne team, different code of sport. I'm personally trying to invest some money to get the North Sydney Bears back. So the rugby league is my jam, and no rugby league players would do this. But an Aussie rules team. Let's read the article. Australian Rules Club St Kilda Saints are investigating allegations that one of the players set fire to a dwarf's clothing during Mad Monday celebrations. Mad Monday is a tradition day of celebration of Australian athletes in various codes at the end of the season. So their end of the season party. Okay.
It was a while ago. It's like 9 years ago. but
Yeah, a
still.
player went behind my friend with one of those gas lighters and lit up the stove and basically lit him up. Parts of his shirt and pants caught on fire. After that, someone put him out, thank God, and got him
He got ticked off.
He got ticked off. Yeah, he would.
And we basically left.
Every time I get set on fire, I'm a little bit upset.
Short tempers.
What does basically
And-
left mean?
And basically, he sort of wandered around. Fuck you guys. But there's a quote: the players have been pranking each other and sort of thing. I think the practice of it's certainly bizarre, but is not conceivable in the way they should operate. I thought it was a joke when it was brought up. There was some quote somewhere where one of the players was like, "I think he liked it." You know, he was in. All right, so get me.
Wait, hold on. One of the last Avery came in 2010 when the former Australia Rugby League winner Joel Monaghan was sacked by his club Canberra Raiders after a photograph of the player simulating.
I was about to talk about this. This is what I was asking.
Simulating a sex act with a dog. Posted on the internet.
Get Joel Monaghan dog picture. This guy had to move out of the country and move to England, and now when he scores tries and stuff, he's probably not playing anymore. There's the picture there.
Oh,
there's the picture there. So he was dog sitting for his mate, who was another player. Right?
Why did he have to pull his pants down?
Because he's got his dick in the dog's mouth.
That doesn't
I
look
thought it was
simulated.
simulated.
Yeah, that does not look simulated.
No, it's not simulated.
The article said simulated.
And then the guy was like, I've seen the problem. There we go. That picture down, that one there. We'll show it to you. Okay. That's a bit better. Not as good as it could be. Anyway, maybe the one with the red stripe out of it will show you in all of its glory. Anyway, so this bloke, professional athlete in Australia, he was dog sitting for his mate, and his mate went, "How's my dog going?" And they were laughing with a few guys. So he put his dick in the dog's mouth and sent back a picture going, "It's going great."
Jesus.
Now, I understand that is funny in its own way, but in another way, it's really not funny.
That dog's going to lick his owner when he gets back.
And also the dog could bite your dick off, and that would serve him fucking well.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? That would serve him justice. But the guy had to leave the country because he was too much harassment. But now when he played in the rugby league in England, whenever he scored a try, they'd all start barking. Woof, woof, woof,
Oh my God.
I don't know how saltwater crocodiles were lower on the list. I mean, sharks are up at 8, but saltwater crocodiles are 14.
Kangaroos. I mean, this
Because
is.
they don't have lighters.
Kangaroos won't get you. Bloody don't get into the drop bears. The drop bears, they're there.
Yeah.
I do a whole routine. I did an
You
Australian
know what
tour.
a drop bear is, Kevin?
No.
I'm doing two shows in Sydney coming up on the 29th
we do the intro.
and the 30th. I will do the drop bear routine because it's a routine I can only do in Australia, and it's a banger. It's a banger, but I won't do it here.
You
because
and Jimmy. Jimmy's sold out the Opera House. I can't believe it.
Jimmy O'Yang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah. So we're doing.
Kevin doesn't know what a drop bear is.
No, I don't.
I'm not telling you because I don't want the Americans to know because it's a prank that only Australians do on each other, and I'm not going
I
to
know
blow
what
it.
it is.
Yeah, you know what it is, but it's I played it on my wife, and she got very upset, and it's something we all do together.
Just
All right.
But they're
The
not
whole country.
They're not real, but the whole country plays this joke on foreigners.
look up at the trees. You don't want anything coming down on you.
Yeah. Be careful.
They drop from the sky.
Giant centipede.
I had one of them in a gumboot once.
How
Scared
big?
Did it bite
How
you?
big?
I had like a little bite on my toe, and I was a kid, and I went, and I pulled the gumboot off, and this thing just went out like a big centipede.
Like how big?
But how is that number 5 and Crocs are 14? A Croc should be number 1.
Eastern brown snake?
are bad.
Brown
are
snakes will
bad.
get you. I've had one of them dumped on the end of my bed by a cat.
Yeah.
What about a cassowary?
Cassowary.
Cassowaries?
I don't know why that would be any problem.
Yeah, why is
A
that?
goofy looking Darwin
Defier.
Defier.
Darwin Defier. That's funny.
is a super pissed off flightless bird that hates you. Oh, God.
They attack hundreds of people and even kill before. Okay, but still, crocodile.
Yeah,
works.
I'll still take my chances against
Yeah,
one of them.
okay, the box
The box
jellyfish
jellyfish
is
is a cunt of a thing.
Yeah, bad.
Stonefish?
Stonefish is no good. You step on them,
yeah,
they
they'll
poison you,
they'll fuck you up.
and they look like a stone. What a fucking cunt of an animal. What a fucking... Look at the miserable fuck.
They're bad because they're in shallow water, and if you're just wading in the water, you can step on it, and it's got. I think there's a spine near its like where its forehead.
Yeah, you can see it right here too.
Yeah.
You can
And
see it
if
on
you
its
step
back.
on it, it's.
So you
good.
should just never go in the water in Australia
Yeah.
Although
or the land.
I looked up.
Well, they say at the end that it's best to go to New Zealand after all. New Zealand has no natural predators.
Yeah.
That's how they have a flightless bird who's blind wandering around. If that thing was in Australia, it would be eaten in seconds.
That's our mascot, the kiwi.
Yeah. By the crocodile or the sharks. Or the
and when you go to see a kiwi,
like cats can eat them, you know what I mean? Like
when you go to see one, like you'll go to like some parks in New Zealand and they'll be like, oh, we have kiwi. So you have to go into these rooms. This is the only way you could see one. You have to go into these rooms and these like preserves and they'll shuttle the doors and they'll be like, it's feeding time. And you're like, and they're like, and it's like,
and
it comes out.
They can be. There's different breeds of them. Yeah. They can be a little one like this, or a size of a football.
Pretty big one, yeah.
Right, and the size of the football one.
Yeah.
Blind, wandering around, flightless, fucking useless cunt of a bird.
Yeah.
But it's all of our New Zealand listeners.
They do have a really cool bird. They're called Kia. That's a pretty dope bird. It's an alpine parrot.
Originally from Korea.
Yeah, and they're pretty big parrots. They're in the mountains there, and they're very, very smart. Probably one of the smartest animals, let alone birds. And they will fuck your car up. They will take out the rubber. They'll fuck up the different your antennas.
Jeez.
So it's funny, when I rented a car there, they said, "You want to get insurance for the car?" And I go, "No, I'm good because I have my car." They're like, but you know I don't know how would they say Kia? Like
Kia.
Yeah. Kia. They go, but what about the Kias? They kept the Kias, and I go, Kia. And I kept saying it's a Toyota. It was like, who's on first? Because I didn't know about Kias, and I go, yeah, whatever. Anyways, cut to I'm in a parking lot and there's all these Kias and everyone's taking pictures of them and shit. And I was like, oh, Kia, I got it now. Because they would move cones around, like traffic cones, and like they divert traffic and shit pretty much. But there was these Kias fucking up this van, like pulling out. And you don't want to fuck with them because their beaks are so powerful. They'll break your finger and shit. Everyone's taking pictures and shit in this parking lot where you go hiking. And these people come away from the hike and like, what the fuck? You guys aren't going to scare them away or anything? We're like, we can't do anything. We're just taking pictures. It's not our car. But yeah, anyways.
There's only been 221 attacks of these cassowaries. The cassowaries have only done 221.
Yeah, but go down. What about the?
Well, there's 18 deaths by kangaroos.
Yeah, but one reported fatal sting by the box jelly. 22 reported. Yeah, I would think the crocs would be more, but I guess
I saw some stats. It was bees killed the most people.
You know what it is? Well, it's always going to be mosquitoes. That's the number one.
Yeah,
kills people. But you know what it is? I guess people stay away from the crocs and the sharks more, and then the cassowaries are like, "Hey, check out this bird." It's like, how does it kill you? With its feet or something?
Just pecks you to death, I guess.
I thought it would kick you. But they usually have something on their fucking.
Let's see.
On their...
I feel like it'd be embarrassing to be killed by a kangaroo. I know that they're like super intense. But
all right, put on Marty the Monster. Kangaroo. I've shown this to Forrest, but it never disappoints.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch this tape.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I've seen this.
I thought we'd watch it on here.
I think we might have, but
that's okay. We can watch it.
It looks scary.
Yeah, it's the end of the podcast. We can watch it again if you guys have seen it before. It's a good watch.
Oh.
We have a tool called the SoRite. Thousands of people have used it to help release tension in their body, improve their movement.
Skip the ad.
Hold on. I gotta record.
Sore muscles to help with their recovery. One of the beautiful things about using this tool is you can use it.
This is morning TV. We used to have this guy. This show used to introduce the cartoons, and you come back and forth. Remember when shows used to do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they usually only live about that long in the wild, but like of course they've been known to live.
This is a big kangaroo though.
That guy's buff.
It's one of these ripped ones. Yeah.
It's
juicing up.
In 5 or 10 years time. Yeah, we do too.
On wallabies, probably.
Wallabies are little tiny.
No, but what do they juice up on? They don't eat the wallabies.
Well, no, they're the same as dogs. There's several breeds of kangaroos. The big reds are the big. I don't even know if that's a big red. I think it's not the biggest one. Second biggest.
Recently, which is going to be on later in the year. Very affectionate. And he's appeared in quite a few films. Rags? Rags? Whoa, what are you doing? Hey, cut it out. I think he wants to get... Oh, see how he wants to get over and see Marty.
He gets him in a headlock. Now he's dragging the man in the monster outfit down. The guy inside might be terrified. They might be comedy legs where he's doing that, or that could be he's in a world of pain.
I think he's in a world of pain.
Live telly.
Where's that sound coming from?
It's from Marty.
Holy crap.
I like how the commentators are doing butt fuck all, like the presenters.
He's got him off him finally.
He's got him off him.
You can see the dent in the head of the costume. There's like a serious dent.
I go through that every week at the Animal Kingdom because I usually put on
now you can see, like, they even have a bad shot where you can see on the crew. He's giving him a treat.
Well, he doesn't talk, Marie.
That's a big kangaroo, man.
Yeah, but Marty comes back to cause trouble.
Yeah, he's an instigator for
This
sure.
is on Marty now.
You've got a lot of kids to worry about it, Carol, because in some areas they're overpopulated.
He's an entertainer, Marty.
That'll do.
That bloke's got no control over this animal.
Yeah, he's very strong. He's like chewing on him too, a little bit.
Go over and sit down with Dixie. You're only a troublemaker.
You're only a troublemaker.
Well, that's
Lucky this isn't a tag team event.
See, now he's got angry with me as well. All this might look aggressive, but it's fairly normal behaviour. He hasn't been trained to do this. For a long time, we weren't allowed to keep these at animal parks. But recently, settle down, Marty.
Hold me back.
Marty's trying to tell
Trying
jokes.
to get you through me. But take it easy. He's way over
Actually,
the back.
I saw one on the side of the road the other night on the way home.
Yeah, if you do see a kangaroo, you should all a dead one.
Right in the dick.
He's kicking up his legs.
Marty's upset him, and I'm getting all the punishment.
Yeah, he's like, Marty, get the fuck out of here.
Marty? Yeah, go and get us a slice of bread and rags and settle down a bit.
Old rags.
Take him back soon.
I don't know. Those legs have got to be so strong. He
Yeah.
just kicks you with them. It's
Oh,
like-
they roll back
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
legs.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't. They used to box them in carnivals. Like men would put boxing gloves on and go into a ring with a kangaroo.
Yeah, but also once he has that tail on the ground like that.
Well, they're a tripod.
Yeah,
you can't.
yeah,
You can't. Like, can you knock?
No, but kicking
you could.
off that
You could
tail.
knock one out and it wouldn't fall over.
Yeah.
So it was a carnival trick.
Present. I'll bring both Boris. I'll give him
Marty, stop shit stirring.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll bring Boris and Beryl into the early bird show if you like.
All right.
I'm going to take Rags back. I've got to do a.
I bet you go through a few shirts, Fritz, like
I
that.
do, yeah. No, he was named after someone with that name. But I better take him.
Good story.
I've got to head back to the Animal Kingdom at Monbulk, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Fritz. Thanks, Ray.
Jesus Christ.
Marty, you fucking.
Doctor. Marty's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty was a bit of a dick. We used to have Marty the Monster on one channel and Aggro on the other bit, and I think Aggro got done for being a bit flirty with some women or something. There was,
Flirty, yeah.
He was a puppet.
Yeah,
the puppeteer.
Grabbed a couple tits
Yeah,
with his mouth.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
All right.
I might be wrong, so if Aggro's out there, I might be mistaken because I know Alf got in some trouble.
Hello, Aggro.
You know, there's outtakes of Alf saying the N word.
Yeah.
Like,
Outtakes.
I didn't make it to the final.
I was like,
cut.
what? Wasn't that show scripted?
Yeah, no, just like
just like between
Bloopers,
takes
you
when
know?
the
Oh,
pupper's
shit,
just there.
okay.
The pupper's just there, and he was just saying the N word all the time.
Oh God! All right.
We can watch it after the podcast.
Yes.
All right.
That's for the Patreon.
That's for the one we pay for.
Yeah, that's like you really have to spend some money. Sign an NDA.
All right. I think it's a good place to wrap
All
it up.
right, thanks everyone. Thanks Dr. Kev.
Thanks. for
Thanks
having me.
Jack for your segment. Thanks Marty the Monster, which is my nickname for Forrest now. Thanks Kelly. Good night, Australia.